back.
Now, this is a Pendleton team that likes to wrap the ball. They scored 30 runs, have recorded 35 hits, and committed just 2 errors in the playoffs.
And he gets Hildy going after the first pitch right down the middle. Eric Schaffner goes 0-1. Tony Hildy, the right fielder, batting .337 on the year.
He's followed by Mark Hamilton, and then Cabe Jones, and Jesse Enright is the cleanup for the Buckaroos.
Good crowd here at Civic Stadium. The 0-1 pitch from Schaffner. Curve, catch him on the inside for a ball. Now, Holland's one of those catchers. He's got a lot of maturity. He'll work that umpire if he can. He'll work that glove around inside, and he'll question every other call if he needs to, protecting that pitcher of his. Schaffner with the 1-1, fouled away for 1-2, and now Schaffner out ahead one more time. Outstanding day for baseball. If you're out at the Little League ballparks in your vicinity today, you know exactly what I was talking about. And congratulations to the Kaiser True Value team. It's now 14-0 in minor 1 league out in Kaiser. We're really proud of those young men. Fouled off high up into the seats. A little souvenir up there is still 1-2 to Tony Hildy. Scott Green, the coach over there, assisted by Mike McNulty, and I'm the third man out. But I don't mind
Good
at
choice.
all. I
Good
don't.
choice.
Yes, that's right. I don't mind a bit. Batting third behind those guys. Those are 2 good coaches, and that's why we're 14-0. Schaffner with the 1-2, and he strikes Hildy out. And around the horn it'll go, and stepping up next will be Mark Hamilton.
Tony Hildy, a very aggressive hitter up there. A lot of smoke coming up from Schaffner. That time it was a little off-speed pitch, and Hildy caught off guard, and he got ahead of the pitch and swung out and missed.
A lot of emotion here today for both ball clubs. All the seniors have graduated from both schools, and they're thinking this is one way to go out. Jeff Crampton told us that it's a sad time, and we'll hear from Jeff here in a few moments. First pitch in there from Schaffner, fouled away. 0-1 to Mark Hamilton, the shortstop. Hamilton, when Heinrich's on the mound for Pendleton, will play out in left field, and he bats at a .354 clip. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Schaffner fires a strike in there, 0-2. Schaffner looks very, very calm out there. Everyone playing straight away, slightly shaded to left in center field is Jeff Crampton. Schaffner high with the pitch in there. 1-2 and 1 away.
Pitch just got away from him, and again, you're right, shading just out towards the left field side for McNary is Crampton against the right-handed Hamilton.
Strikes him out. Count him swinging, and I'll tell you, 2 away here. And again, a sad time, as we mentioned. Jeff Crampton was talking with us earlier before the ball game, and this is one of those times that they're always going to remember, he says.
Jeff, today, of course, a big game for you guys. State title, all the focus is on you guys. What's the feeling amongst the team, and certainly, what are your feelings?
Well, I just want to make this one last great game with all my friends, because I'll miss them, and graduation is making everybody else sad, but this is what's going to make me sad as soon as baseball's over. And I just want to make it one last great game.
Finally, when you look at the game the other night, down 4-0, top of the 7th inning, then everything just drops out for them, and everything goes well for you guys. What kind of feelings were you having then?
Well, we've done it about 3 times this season before. We were behind in the last inning, and everyone knew we could do it, so it was just a great feeling to know we could do it again.
Jeff Crampton, the center fielder for McNary, will be hearing from other gentlemen throughout the ball game here. And now a 1-1 set up with Cabe Jones. 2 away, bottom of the first inning, and Jones just fouled one off in the 1-1 delivery. Curveball served up, and it'll high fly into the stands. Is he going to make it over there? By the third baseman, Zach Zinke, and that will end the inning. 3 up and 3 down, no runs, no hits, and no errors. Nobody left. 1 is complete, and still no score. Speed, and he may be slight of size, but boy, can he knock that ball around. It'll be Holland stepping in, facing that gun of Ryan Sams. The right-hander lets it go now. Sams with the first pitch right down the pipe for a called strike, and they're taking that first strike as much as they can. Vic Backlund looking down at Kevin Holland, trying to get him to step in there, take a deep breath as he does, reaches across that plate and sets it up. 0-1 here, top of the second inning, and Sams fires the fastball across for a ball.
Kevin Holland is one of those kind of guys that really likes to step forward. He's been a leader for McNary in a lot of places, and at catcher, Mike, he's really had an opportunity to shine because he is the
Ground
leader
ball fouled on the third base line as Holland's digging for second. Now it will be a fair ball as he digs into second, standing up. Holland just caught the lip of that bag, and I thought it was going to be a foul ball the way it looked from our angle. We're right down here about 20 feet behind home plate. It is a foul ball. Well, Kevin blew me away there. I thought that certainly that he was on, but it was a foul ball, so we go to a count of 1-2 here. And, of course, Kevin Holland talking about being a leader on the ball club.
You've been kind of a mainstay on this team. As a catcher, you got to be a leader, and I've talked to your coach, and when he talks about being a leader, that's kind of your role out there. Does that bother you at all? Is there any problem with being the leader out there and making things happen?
No, I have no problems with it. I've always liked to do that because I've always been the catcher, and if you're the catcher, you got to be the leader. So I just kind of like getting the guys going and stuff like that. That's basically been my job.
Well, Kevin Holland's looking down at a 1-2 pitch and takes it low outside for a ball. Goes 2-2.
And Kevin very patient up there. He's a number 4 batter, but that does not mean that he swings at every pitch.
2-2 delivery wraps it down the left field line. Is it in there? It is. Down to the wall, bounces it off. Holland's digging for second. The throw from the wall, and Holland will stand up on second base. The crowd loving it.
Leadoff double by Kevin Holland. When we talk about his power, he put that baby out there one hop to the wall, and it was just about a foot inside the foul line, and having to chase it down over there for Pendleton was Ryan Heinrich, and he just had to play it off the wall. Made a good play to limit Holland to just 2.
309 feet down the left field line, 348 to right, and out in deep right center field. I can't see the numbers. It's at least 360.
It's 309.
309 left side. A sidearm in from Sam's to Casey Flicker. Flicker with the highest batting average on the team and one of the highest in the Valley League at 450. 40 RBI, 9 doubles, 3 triples, and 3 round trippers. Curveball low and inside for another ball. 2-0 to Flicker. Holland over there teasing at second base. They've got Flicker batting 483. I think you probably appreciate that. Vic told me it was 450, so we could always, average it in there to 460 someplace. 2-0 to Casey Flicker. We talked to Casey. He'll be one of our guests here momentarily, talking about what he's going to do, play baseball or basketball. And Flick takes the call inside, low at his ankles for a 3-0 look. Vic checking his signs out.
Now, this isn't a bad strategy. Ryan Sams knows that he's got first base open, so he's not going to give Casey anything good to look at.
Next pitch, 3-0, down the pipe for a strike from Sams, and he's got to throw the meatball down the middle. 3-1, no outs here, top of the second inning. McNary, the visiting team, on the scorecard, right down the middle again for called strike 2. Full count now. Sam's battling back here. They're playing Flicker slightly to left, straight away in right field, and a slight breeze out there from right field to center field. Flicker checks out the box, cleans off the cleats, and back in he'll go. Casey chasing a full count now with Holland on second. Sams looks it over, fires it down low in there, and a walk for Casey Flicker. That was close, but it'll put 2 on and bring up the number 6 hitter, the third baseman transfer from North Salem High School, second-team All-Leaguer Zach Zinke. 363 hitter, 26 ribbies, 5 doubles, and a couple of home runs. I want to thank Zielinski Farms, where you can pick the freshest vegetables and peaches in the Willamette Valley, for being one of our sponsors today. Zielinski Farms, call them out in Kaiser and see what they've got at 393-9410. Zielinski Farms. Thank you, folks. A lot of great sponsors here. We've just really put on the list, and it's been wonderful. The support this ball club has been able to pick up in just 2 games on the radio. First pitch inside to Zinke is outside for a ball.
And now Jesse Enright is kind of trailing behind the lead runner for McNary as they have the first scoring threat of this ball game. And Zach Zinke looking him over careful, and he's ahead in the count.
We talked about the other night, down 4-0, top of the 7th inning, and then every other time at bat was a hit and or a walk. Sams again curves one inside, low and away for a 3-0 count. Zinke looks down at Backlund. Backlund talking it over with Holland, and Holland's a threat to go with 21 steals on the year. Zinke digging in, right down in there for a called strike, 3-1.
Same pattern as he had with Flicker, got behind in the count and then puts it right down the pipe, and McNary taking on the play. You know Zinke doesn't want to go on 3-0.
Zach checks it out, throwing right out his waist, and he'll load him up. A 3-0 pitch. Make that a 3-1 pitch. He'll send him to the line. So you've got Holland at third, Flicker at second, and now Zach Zinke sitting over at first base talking to Craig Nicholas, the assistant coach. And Brian Berenboom, the boomer, the junior, coming in. And here comes the manager, if you will, the coach, Lyle Phelps. Now, Lyle Phelps making his first trip to the mound. 35 years he's coached at Pendleton High School in baseball. 17 of those, the last 17 as the varsity coach. The first 18 as a JV and freshman coach, assisting the varsity as well. And Lyle Phelps, one of those great success stories up there in the northeastern Oregon area. 29-2 are the Pendleton Buckaroos this year. 3 losses for the McNary Celtics at 26-3. And Phelps having an extended conversation, not only with Sams, but with Jason Kelly, the catcher. Bauer Insurance, your independent insurance agent in Kaiser for all your insurance needs. You can call them and count on them for outstanding coverage. Home, fire, life, and auto. That's Bauer Insurance. And Greer Brothers Incorporated, your complete landscaping service since 1946 here in the Mid-Willamette Valley.
You know that Lyle Phelps, he's probably forgotten more than Mike or I know about baseball, but you know he probably went out there just to settle Sams down. He was really throwing awfully fast, and that kind of fouls up your rhythm. That time he takes his time, nice smooth motion, and puts the first one over for a strike on Boomer.
Berenboom, 3-3 the outset, and there's a rip deep to left field. It'll take him to the track fly ball, and it'll score Holland. Will Flicker take off for third? No, but McNary leads it 1-0.
An RBI sacrifice fly by Berenboom for the first out of the inning, but McNary gets what it wants, the first run of the ball game, with runners still in scoring position. And coming now out will be Jason Powell, and McNary still with a chance to add to that 1-0 lead.
Jason Powell, the right fielder, and Vic Backlund says, he says, nobody else on the team, he says, do I really want out in right field? But Jason Powell, he says, when you're talking about that late afternoon sun at McNary High, that's where he wants Jason Powell out there. He says he beats back those rays and fights those tears back better than anybody and really is effective in right field. Jason Powell on the season, a .236 hitter with 23 ribbies, takes the first pitch as a low outside strike. Runners at first and second, ground ball to left field, down the third base line, and it go foul just before it hits the bag. Flicker will run it out, talk it over with Vic over there at third base. You know, one of the people that really got it going, if you will, to get us on the radio, and I'm sure he's here tonight, and I don't know his first name, it's Craig Nicholas's father, Mr. Nicholas. And he got a hold of about 10 or 11 sponsors and said, we want them on the radio. And he let them know right after the Bend game that that's where they wanted to be. And hats off to Mr. Nicholas. 0-2 pitch now to Boomer outside. And coming up throwing almost was Jason Kelly looking down, looking at Zinke leaning just a little bit too far towards second.
Al, that's one way to catch McNary off balance. You know that, as Vic Backlund talked about, they're a very aggressive ball club, and sometimes you want to take some of those chances, maybe pick them off.
Sidearm pitch fouled away behind us here, and Kelly will come back and take a look at it.
And Powell hanging in there. The batting average not all that high up on the scoreboard. We have a .279 average. But Powell is one of those kind of contact players, doesn't want to really take the ball deep, just wants to keep it in play.
Flicker at second, and Flicker's going. The pitch is high. That throw down to third base from Kelly. He's safe, and boy, did he barely get in there. A great throw from Kelly. I thought Flicker was gone.
I thought he was too, and I think what happened there was when he came up with the ball over there, Kelsey Garten caught a high tag. I thought he was going to tag him right down there around the ankles and really caught him near the knees, and Flicker lucks out on that play for sure. So stolen base to Casey Flicker.
And that'll also move Zinke over to second base here with one away in the top of the second. A 2-2 pitch looking down to the number 8 hitter, Jason Powell, and sounds goes from the belt. Sidewinder puts it foul to the right side. Powell doesn't like that a bit. But another souvenir into the stands, and a good crowd here. I think there's more people here than they'd have for the Beaver games. And this is a fun place to come to a ball game. I'll tell you see AAA ball, you don't see it all the time. And fun place to come for baseball.
Yeah, you just like the concession stand.
Well, that's right, but I'm really upset I can't get there here a little more often. 2-2 with one out. Slow liner down the right field line as he went for the outside pitch, trying to protect those runners, trying to take it down the right field line. A great thought, just couldn't get it to stay fair.
Yeah, Powell saw the pitch to the outside. Instead of trying to fight it and take it down the left field line, he tried to put it down the right field line, but didn't get around on it quite soon enough. Foul ball down here almost into the crowd.
So Powell with a 2-2 count, one away here, top of the second to score 1-0 McNary over Pendleton. Kevin Holland has scored, striking first blood of the Celtics. Now from the stretch. Step off the rubber, force Zinke back. It looks like they got the double steal on, or at least Sam's is a little bit uncomfortable, and Powell will take a long walk out.
Didn't like the leadoff out there that Zach Zinke had, even though he's got Flicker right in front of him. Casey not going anywhere.
Quick delivery this time, right over the top of Sam's, hits his glove. He can't find it. One run will score, and he'll be on safe at first. Flicker's in for another run, and men at the corners with one away, 2-0 McNary.
Now we'll see if they score that. They scored as a hit. That was one of those comebackers right off the mid. All Sam's could do was stick it out there, and really that froze the runners for a second. Fortunately, Flicker got off with a good start. Froze, started to go back. Vic Backlund said, "Keep going, Casey." So he went right to the plate. Zach Zinke on third, runners at the corners, and one out.
A ribby for Powell here. 2-0 McNary, top of the second inning, and still only one away. And the designated hitter, number 9 in the batting order, Scott Buchanan. Kelly looked like he had to come up throwing that time, and I'll tell you, he's got a gun on him. He was all IMC first team as a catcher and has been for 2 years. And you don't want to steal on that young man.
Scott Buchanan batting .306 in the DH spot, and that time a throwback by Sam's over to first base, and getting back in plenty of time was Powell.
Zach Zinke over at third now. No one at second. One away. 2-0. The score here. And the pitching coach. Now they'll step back in, and here comes Buchanan with no pitches inside to him. His first pitch is low and inside for a ball. So Buchanan 3 throws away over to first base before actually Buchanan receives the first delivery from Sam's. 1-0.
Trying to slow down the McNary offensive onslaught.
Right down the middle, but it was a little bit inside for a ball. 2-0. And Sam's looks like he's hitting in the strike zone, but perhaps he's not giving them the corners.
Now, that's something that comes with time over here. You got to work the umpire, as you said, and if he starts hitting that spot consistently, those balls could become strikes.
Sam's again, a quick delivery right down the pipe again, and that's a called strike. Looked like it was in the same spot, and Sam's kind of looks around like, hey, that's where I threw it last time.
Now, a little bit lower that time. Last one may have been just above the letters, and that time he brought it down. But regardless, McNary has made a good run here as they are in the top half of the second inning and picked up a couple of runs with runners still in scoring position.
A pass ball, and there goes Powell over to second base. Not a wild pitch. I don't believe they'll score a wild pitch. Certainly it looked like a pass ball to me. Kelly let it get about 15 feet behind him, quickly back to get it. But Powell racing over to second. And now men at second and third with a 3-1 count. One away, top of the second, and McNary still with that 2-0 lead over Pendleton. Number 1 rated, but not the Intermountain Conference champs, and he'll throw up the walk. Here comes the coach, Phelps. I think he's going to bring him to the edge and talk with him just a little bit. No, it'll be 2 trips to the mound.
And we may have a change coming up here.
Not certain if we're going to have that change or not. While we've got it, let's take a 1-minute timeout.
Remember to give the score.
I did, as the change is made, 1-minute timeout. Okay. Now they'll bring in Heinrichs.
Okay. They're going to have to.
5 minutes. Too bad. So after 1 1/3 innings here, it'll be the guy that beat South Salem, the left-hander, Ryan Heinrichs. 1 1/3 innings for Sams, and the tally on him, not that impressive. A lot of walks.
So far in this ball game, couple of walks and 2 hits, a sacrifice fly, and that's where we're at thus far.
We look at Ryan Heinrichs on the year. Heinrichs beat South Salem. Good average, just under .80. And his first delivery inside, and here comes the runner home, trying to beat him inside. He's safe at home, sliding in his Zinke as the wild pitch came all the way back to the broadcast booth, bounced off the wood. Kelly up with the throw, tries to hit Heinrichs at home plate, but belly sliding in was Zach Zinke, and he took Heinrichs out, causing the ball to go loose. So now Heinrich with dirt in his eyes and trying to walk it off. A 3-0 lead here, top of the second inning for McNary. 1 away.
And the McNary Celtics, again, playing that kind of good baseball where they're aggressive, and that makes Heinrichs at least think about the kind of throws he's got to make. He makes a hard throw to the plate because he knows anything that's high and slow may be grounds for a steal by McNary, and that time it cost him as Wecker remains at the plate.
Runners at second and third, and Paul Wecker to bat. The leadoff man, the left-hander, takes the first pitch down in the dirt. And first 2 pitches, while he warmed up and looked outstanding, Heinrichs is a little bit flustered here as he comes in relief of Sams. At at third base, leading off is Powell. Buchanan over at second, and another low pitch behind the plate, almost coming that time. And Kelly comes out about halfway to talk to Heinrich.
And Pendleton looking a little flustered. The Buckaroos have been to the championship game 3 times, but have yet to win a title game. And they've got to draw a little composure here now if they want to stay in this one, where McNary could have a psychological edge that lasts through the 7th.
Ryan Heinrichs, 55 innings pitch, and his 4th offering to Paul Wecker is a called strike in the outside corner. Heinrich is 7-0 on the year. ERA of 1.02, 15 walks, 81 strikeouts. And that's an effective stat right there, so he can blow it by, and South Salem knows that oh so well. 3-1 pitch to Wecker, held up on it, and Weck gets the walk. 1 away still in the second inning, and McNary knows about long half innings. 45 minutes the other night in the 7th inning, and that 12-4 come from behind win over North Medford.
That's the 4th walk in this inning, Mike. 3 of them given up by Sams, who left with 3 walks, 3 hits, and 2 runs unofficially in this second inning. And Jeff Crampton comes to the plate.
Crampton, the first time up, grounded out to the second baseman, and the first pitch up from
Heinrich's the first strike, if you will, that he has thrown. 0-1 to Jeff Crampton. Crampton.
Strike one as Casey Flicker steps back into the box. Just a pleasure to be here, and of course he's thinking about it, going to college, but not knowing where to play as the second pitch goes in for a ball.
Casey, you've kind of culminated the season. You've done very well in soccer the last couple of years. You're all-state in basketball, and perhaps maybe even all-state in baseball this year, and didn't get a chance to play for a title as a senior in basketball, but here you are as a senior playing for the title in baseball. It's got to be maybe a very good feeling.
Yeah, to win a state championship in baseball will cap off my athletic career at McNary. It's just been wonderful playing for the Celtics, and it's been awesome.
One question everyone's asking, what's Casey Flicker going to do, play baseball or basketball? What's the plan?
The plan is to play summer baseball this summer, and then if I get a Division I scholarship in baseball, I'll take it. If not, I think I'm going to stick with basketball and play at Schmeck Community College next year, and then hope for a Division I after a year.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chavez is probably over there at Chemeketa licking his chops, hoping Casey will make that basketball decision. But Casey, takes the first 5 pitches and works the count full here at Civic Stadium with 1 away, and it's 4-0 McNary. Casey, one of those young men that all the kids in Kaiser kind of look up to, just like they did Bobby Cavell and a few others, Kevin Holland, and they crowd around him and talk baseball with him, and he gets down on one knee and talks with them and makes him feel like a bunch of big guys as well. And that 6th pitch comes in there from Heinrich. He can't get the location. He's keeping it down, but it's all on the inside corner, and he'll walk Casey Flicker.
Second walk of the game for Casey, and again, this is what I'm talking about. Very selective are the McNary Celtics on their pitches. You knew Casey was looking all the way, making sure that that pitch was going to be one that he wanted. He's not taking the pitcher's pitches. He's taking his pitch, well, and that's important.
Pendleton's pitching so far in the playoffs has limited their opponents to just 4 runs in the playoffs and 13 hits in 3 playoff games. And they've already picked up the 4 runs in this game alone. So obviously offensively, McNary may be a little more powerful than Pendleton had imagined. Back up is Zach Zinke with 1 on at the corner. First pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0 with 1 away, top of the 3rd inning. Zach Zinke, one of those premier baseball names.
Yeah, that's what you told him.
And he says, I didn't have had nothing to say about that. Because when I mentioned his name to people that have broadcast the game, the folks over in Bend, they said, you're pulling my leg. I said, no, that's his name, Zach Zinke. He's a great ball player. Nice young man. 1-0 as they look over, and he'll dribble it fair down the left field line, down to the corner again to second. Here comes Flicker coming up throwing, and Flicker into third, and Zinke in at second with a double.
Boy, a nice wrap. He put that baby high. No way third baseman's going to catch that ball. About 2 feet inside that left field line. It kept humming, and Flicker turned the corner at second and into third easily. And McNary now with another threat here in the 3rd.
And that brings up the man who's brought up his average nearly 30 points in the past 2 weeks, primarily during the playoffs, the Boomer, the first baseman, Brian Berenboom, batting .338 coming into today's ball game, 34 RBI and a couple of round trippers for the season.
Had a sacrifice fly at the last time up, and Boomer's going to see if he can put all that 200-plus pounds into the old ball this time around.
First pitch is right down the middle for a called strike to Brian Berenboom. The man who puts a lot of fear into guys on the defensive side of the ball. Next fall, when you try to think about bringing this big hunk of a guy down, I don't think I'd want to stick my head and shoulders around his waist, but he'll come at you with a lot, and he tries to go opposite field down the right field line and slaps it foul.
You don't even like to wrestle your kid. But...
Well, I do, but he beats me so much it's becoming a laughing stock.
How old is he? 10?
10 and a half. He's here now.
All right.
He's part of that undefeated minor 1 league team, the Kaiser True Value bunch from Kaiser, of course.
Got his mother's athletic ability.
That's right. He's got his father's talking ability. There he gets him in trouble in school all the time. Brian Berenboom takes the call outside now. 1-2. 1 away. Top of the 3rd is still 4-0 Celtics. 7-inning game. First game of the morning, afternoon that is, Grant Union beating Portland Christian 6-5 in 8 innings for the 2A Boys Championship, and they caught Boomer looking, struck him out.
That was a ball that was thrown right down around the knees, down towards the outside corner. Boomer did not want to take that, did not want to go with that pitch. He really was going to have to just foul it off if he got a piece of it at all, and he kind of got frozen there on the first strikeout of the ball game for Pendleton. And that a big one now as we got 2 out, and coming to the plate will be Jason Powell.
Powell, of course, scoring last time he was up and got on with the single. Jason, one of the guys with lower average, 236 on the year, takes the first pitch and takes it off of his foot, took a swing at it, and everyone gets a base. Flicker will score as he comes in on the pass ball. I don't know if they'll call it pass ball or wild pitch, but it looked like it hit him in the foot.
Wild pitch is going to be the call. We ask our scoreboard operator over here, Tom Stewart. He said not to mention his name. Hey, this is just going to Salem.
Just look up.
Yeah.
barber might hear it.
That's right. 8x10 glossies, Tom sells here for $5.
Jason Powell, of course, still in the ballgame. I thought it hit his foot on the inside there, but actually it hit the plate, so the ball was wild. The run scores. It's 5-0, and the second pitch up. A foul ball right in front of Vic Backlund. And Zinke off the... Vic Backlund says, I want you back in here and doing it my way. I think Zinke got a little away from the coach and got the adrenaline flowing and wasn't listening.
So Jason Powell up. And McNary, again, they take advantage of things. If you make a mistake in the field, the Celtics are not going to stand around and stare at it and say, oh, that was nice. They are going to do something about it as Flicker scored off the wild pitch.
Good lead. Foul ball, right field line, and going after it. Will he get to it? Is the right fielder out of play and bouncing out of the area? Tony Hildy on his horse, 6'1" junior.
He had to go an awful long way to go get that ball. It was out there towards the bullpen along the first baseline, and Powell will stay with it now with the count 0-2.
Brooks Rademacher, a catcher for McNary down there, warming up somebody. I can't see, but I saw Brooks step out and pick up that loose ball. It's 0-2 with 2 away here in the top of the third, and the left-hander delivers, and it's a tap to the second baseman. The run may score unless they get him out, and he's safe at first. The run does score, and Powell's on with a poor throw to first base.
That would have been a force, and no run scored there, but making the play over there at second base is Jesse Enright. Enright just, that's a hard throw to make that sidearm throw, and the problem with it is that you can... If you don't throw it just right, it will go to the left or the right just a bit, and that's what happened, as having to chase it into the dirt was Ryan Robinson, and he couldn't come up with the ball in time, and safe on the error. Over there will be Powell.
Scott Buchanan up with 2 out here in the third. It's 6-0 Celtics. Little movement on the ball, right center field. The drill, it'll drop. It will perhaps for a double. Buchanan's on his way. Here comes Powell around third. The throw into second. Powell will score standing up. No, he's going to dig up the dirt anyway. And the Celtics with a big run.
Boy, that was a shot in the gap. Buchanan took that ball. First pitch, it was really more of one of those Texas leaguers down Amarillo style as far as the way it landed, a little blooper, but it caught between the fielders in center and right, and they chased it down, but not before he got to second base. And coming in to score is Jason Powell.
7-0 McNary, and they have picked up 3 runs here in the third inning and 1 error. And the top of the order, the Weck. Paul Wecker steps in, the left-hander. Fairly successful, grounded out the first time, got on with a base on balls last time. Weck standing in there, the leadoff man with a .375 average. 31 walks. He doesn't like to take him. They just don't seem to hit to him. But when you're 5'6", that is a smaller strike zone, sometimes tougher to hit.
They say 5'7" on the roster.
I don't believe it. My wife's 5'7", and he isn't that tall as she is.
Your wife's 6 foot.
No.
Okay. Very nice person.
Hope she saves some pizza for me. I'm kind of hungry. Over there on second base is Buchanan with a stand-up double. Great hit to the gap by Buchanan. Went all the way down by the Nike Town sign. And the left-handed Heinrich a little bit shaken up here. Nobody warming up for Pendleton, and they have to go with Heinrichs and go with him. In around the elbows, and Wecker moves just a little bit.
And you can see that Pendleton clearly flustered, if not frustrated already, as they trail in this ball game. You know, with only 2.5 innings, not even 2.5 innings gone, and they're down 7 runs.
From the stretch now, again, Heinrichs low and outside for a ball. 3-0 to Paul Wecker. And the outfielder standing on that one leg, kind of like, gee, I wish this inning would hurry up. Shaded slightly to left field. Straight away and right. They're not playing him to pull at all much. And then Wecker will step out and step back in. Says it's an emotional time being here as they turn around and make the throw to second base. Buchanan is back, and now he'll take that lead again. They want to let him know, and he's not going to take off. Sam's over at shortstop, scoots towards second just a little bit. Now back into the hole. The delivery, low and inside for a ball. Wecker is on one more time, and here comes Jeff Crampton.
He's 0 for 1 with a walk is Paul Wecker, and here comes Crampton up to the plate. And McNary has done just what you talked about, mixing walks and hits. They've got a pair of doubles in this inning, a couple of walks to go with it. And here comes Crampton to try to add to misery for Pendleton.
And Wecker with a foot on the carpet here. They throw the change inside to Crampton. With 2 away in the top of the third, it's still 7-0, 1-0. Buchanan there puts both feet out on the green carpet here at Civic Stadium. Glad to have you along here on KCCS. Mike Gallagher along with Mark Gilman bring into this state title game. And the sports official trying to follow where we can. And the call, strike on the outside corner for Crampton. Crampton grounded out. First 2 times he was up. And while we're waiting, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to State High School Baseball. The next delivery inside for 2-1 to Crampton.
And again, McNary very patient up there. They're trying to rattle Heinrich, and thus far they have, as that last pitch a little high and outside to Crampton.
Takes a look at second. The left-hander follows through. Grounded off to the left side is Crampton. On deck is Tony Gray. Some of our sponsors again, Leon Phillips, the CPA, that you'll find his service focused directly on your individual needs. If you're looking for a certified public accountant, contact Leon Phillips, CPA, at 581-3313. Thank you, Leon, for your support of McNary Athletics. 2-2 count with 2 away here to Jeff Crampton, who's 0 for 2. Fires it into the center fielder, now runs the count full, 3-2.
That ball down low, short hop to the catcher. And again, Heinrich just a little bit off, and this is going to really take its toll if Pendleton cannot get the ball down the pipe. McNary's already had 27 batters to the plate in this ball game.
And right in there for a call, strike 3, and that ends the inning. But I'll tell you, McNary has done some damage as Crampton goes down watching it. They pick up 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 men left. After 2.5, we go to the bottom of the third. McNary leading it 7-0. At the plate right now, and still haven't batted through, have the Pendleton Buckaroos. At the plate, the catcher, Jason Kelly, who's a .288 hitter. All-IMC first team. All-IMC second team last year. IMC Intermountain Conference, if you will. And a ball off the back of the fence in the wood here at Civic Stadium, back out on the carpet. And again, if you've never been to Civic Stadium, it is that green carpet where Portland State plays their football games and Portland Beavers play baseball.
And a fairly recent installation of the carpet that's here. The other carpet had problems with seams and the like. Not so now, but it is kind of a different feel out there. It's not your shag carpet, but definitely a soft carpet out here.
It's what you'd want in your 4 area where you come in with the kids with the dirty cleats and all that when they come home.
Yes.
There's a place to take them off. 2 quick pitches, low for a ball, and the second one singing in there, looks like for another ball. So we go to 3-1 on the count here with no outs in the bottom of the third inning. Pendleton setting their catcher. And, of course, Kelly, the number 8 hitter. Coming up, Ryan Robinson. And he'll walk Jason Kelly, the first walk given up by Schaffner here with a 7-0 lead.
Now, that's going to happen at times, and Vic Backlund comes out quickly to talk to his pitcher. He knows that Schaffner you can almost get a little too relaxed when you've got a big lead like this, and he doesn't want to squander it at this point. McNary's been playing well. Their defense has not been tested severely at this point, and I think Vic would like to keep it that way if he can. He talked to me a little bit before the ball game about things like playing on this turf. Nobody practiced on this turf before they came up here, and he says that's always the tough thing. You don't play on turf. The ball has a different kind of bounce to it. It goes a little bit faster, and frankly, he'd rather not have to be tested if he didn't have to.
First baseman Ryan Robinson's the man at the plate now, the number 9 hitter, hitting .359 on the season, and Schaffner serves up a strike right down the pipe called. Man at the corner after a walk is Jason Kelly, the catcher. On deck, the leadoff man, Tony Hildy. I don't believe I read what I just read. We'll share it with you in a second. Outside for a ball, 1-1.
What did you read?
Basketball team plays here, too.
No, baseball.
Portland
baseball. Portland State baseball. That's why you couldn't believe it.
That's right. I think I'll get my glasses cleaned off here. A throw over to first base, and they'll chase him back. It is 1-1. Schaffner with the delivery down low again for another ball. 2-1.
McNary wants to remain the aggressors out here on the field. Right now, Pendleton knows that they've got to get back into this ball game with some aggressive base running and the like.
The next shot fouled away up into the left field bleachers. So kind of a left center behind us here. Who knows what it is? It's off to our left.
Schaffner's turning up the heat, and he's also making sure that Jason Kelly stays very close to first base. He has really taken a short lead thus far for the Buckaroos.
Jason about a whole step off the carpet, not even a foot down on the green. From the stretch, it's Schaffner down low in the dirt, up quick as Holland looking for him to take off. You don't want to test that gun of Holland's. He'll fire it down there like a 30-06 and then kill you dead right down there at the bag. A full count, 3-2, no outs here. Bottom of the third inning, and Pendleton trailing McNary 7-0. Schaffner from the belt fires it up deep. High popper to center field. Crampton will camp underneath it there, looking for him to run. I don't think I'd want to test that left-handed arm. Hits the cutoff man, and there's one away.
Well, fortunately for McNary, this is not what you'd call a high.
To center field. Crampton will camp underneath it there, looking for him to run. I don't think I'd want to test that left-handed arm. Hits the cutoff man, and there's one away.
Well, fortunately for McNary, this is not what you'd call a high sky out here. When you get a perfectly blue sky out there, it is tough to judge a ball. But fortunately, some high, thin clouds out there give you an idea of whether that ball's going up or going down. You saw Crampton hesitate for a second to see where that ball was, and then he scoped it out and dropped right underneath it, and we've got one away.
It's the leadoff man, Tony Hildy, who struck out his first time up. From the stretch again, curves one in there outside, ball one. Tony Hildy, outstanding football player, and again, one of those 5 or 6 young men on this team that I saw 3 or 4, I think it was 4 years ago, when it was the big league regional championships in Salem. And a high popper out to right center field. Crampton will take it to the track. It'll go to the wall. No, he'll nix the catch off of his glove. Here comes a runner coming to third base. Will they come home? No, he'll hold him up in a stand-up double for Tony Hildy.
Well, it's 400 feet dead away center field, and that ball just about got there on one hop.
flew out first time up, couple times up, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 here in the fourth.
McNary brought up 8 men in the last inning. In the second, they brought up 9, and they'd like to continue that sort of trend here in the fourth.
You got to wonder what that last inning did to McNary. We'll find out here momentarily. Didn't do anything to Tony Gray. He sends the center fielder on a ground ball. He'll go for 2. No, he'll turn it around halfway and come back. Gray with a lot of speed, and he takes the second offering, puts it out into left center field for a base hit. And Tony Gray is on. Here comes Kevin Holland with Casey Flicker on deck.
Gray's hit was one of those, you call him a tweener. That baby was right between the shortstop and the center fielder. Neither one really knew what they wanted to do with it. The ball just kind of gently moved itself right into position there. Texas leaguer, if you will. Those are my kind of hits out on the old softball field.
I'll take that stuff from Texas anytime.
That's correct.
The catcher, Kevin Holland, up 1 for 2 with a double, and he scored a run here. 7-2, McNary, top of the fourth. The wind and the delivery, curveball inside, and I'll tell you, I was just going to say it looked like it came across the right half of the plate and ended off on the lower left-hand corner of the plate, just above the knees. A great pitch in there by Heinrichs, and that's what he did to South Salem all last Wednesday.
Heinrichs has got to have a little bit of adrenaline going. There's nothing like a good offense to make your defense pick up a bit. And he's throwing the ball with a lot more confidence, but McNary counters.
And a curveball hit out into left field again. Holland sends the man deep about 10 feet off the track, and another single. 2 men on here. A couple of back-to-back singles for Gray and Holland, and Casey Flicker to the plate.
Well, this is what I was talking about. McNary waits for their pitch. Now Heinrich is throwing hard. He's throwing in a good spot. Unfortunately for him, McNary likes them right where they're coming. And with those back-to-back singles now, Flicker with a chance to bring some runs in with another one.
Well, Flicker scored a couple of runs, and he's got a couple of bases on balls. 0 for 0 for the day, but you can't beat that with a .450 batting average. Bennett first and second here. And the first pitch, fly ball high. It'll go out to the second baseman perhaps. Running in on it and making the catch out there, number 14, Jesse Enright. So 1 away as Flicker flies out. Men stay at first and second. And here comes Zach Zinke.
Now that was one Casey wanted to jump on, and as soon as he hit it, he knew that things were going to really not go the way he wanted. As the pitch a little bit high, and now Zach Zinke comes to the plate. And Zach's one of those kind of guys that he likes interviews, I think, there, Mike.
Yeah, we had a nice talk with Zach. Is this the portion about his name here? I just asked him about his name.
Yeah, among other things.
A pure baseball name is Zach Zinke, and after the first pitch, we'll go to it here. Looking down to Vic Backlund, says, let's hit. 1 away, 7-2. Zach 1 for 1 with a double. Base on balls, has scored a couple of runs. He's been active in the playoffs, certainly one of their key players. From the stretch comes Heinrichs. Fouled off.
Pure baseball name, Zach Zinke. Ben, people loved it. What do you think about that?
Well, I didn't have a lot to do with my name, so I just kind of go along with it, and guess it's a good thing I'm a baseball player.
The transfer from North to McNary, has it been good for you as far as sports is concerned?
Well, sports, yeah. I mean, I start off the year playing football. We go to state, win our first playoff game. That was a real joy. And then I spent the winter getting ready for the baseball season, and it looks like we're doing pretty well.
I think so. Zach Zinke up there takes a ball outside, goes 1-1 with 1 out here, and of course we're not picking on Zach. We were just having fun with him. I told him that the folks from Bend just said, "Wow, what a great baseball name, Zach Zinke." From the stretch, he'll dribble it in the hole behind Sams. Here comes someone to score around third base. The throw at the plate will be close, and he'll nail him. A great run.
Berenboom steps up to the plate. 2 down, and Boomer 0 for 1 with that sacrifice fly that he had in the second inning.
Lead is healthy. A check swing coming back. The ball is loose. Kelly coming up throw, and a call. They got him for the strike as he did break the wrist. That ball down in the dirt. Heinrichs is a little excited here. Some good plays by Pendleton. And you'd think that with 3 singles in the inning that McNary might have themselves a run, but they do not. And give the good play from the outfield by Pendleton and the throw in that came from Cape Jones, I believe, down to Jason Kelly. And they have stopped McNary from putting a run in the books, and they've got 2 down. Boomer steps back up into the plate now, facing an 0-1 count with 2 away here in the 4th. Outside, looking for the throw to third base on the steal, and they think he's gone. They called him safe. The umpire right over on the corner could see it. And here come the Pendleton coaches. They don't like the call. Well, I'll tell you, it was an awful close call. Holland was in there, but that throw was down, and Backlund protecting his player. I think Holland got a little bit of a late run, and one of the assistant coaches, not Phelps, but one of his assistants, he said, oh, it is Phelps. He's over there talking with the third base umpire. He says, that throw was there. He was not even on the dirt, and my man made the tag, but nonetheless, Holland is safe at third base on a very close play, and Boomer stays in. He says, that's twice you've missed it. He says, holds up 2 fingers, he says, that's twice you've missed it, and he says, you're out of here. The assistant coach gets the toss, and he says, fine, you're gone. Now they're going to go nose to nose. He's going to protect his ball club, and that's what a good coach will do. And that's part of baseball, like it or not sometimes, is that you've got to get up there with the umpires. I thought he was out from here too, Mike, and I think that's twice over there where McNary's gotten a break at third base here just a bit. The Boomer with a 1-1. Oh, but a called strike. And that upsets Brian just a little bit. Backlund says, stay in there, protect the plate. And now I think emotionally it's gone to Pendleton. Anytime you get somebody tossed like that, that's got to help your ball club a little. Well, that's it. And if they can get out of this inning without a run scored after all the hits that McNary's come up with, that would be a real big moral victory. But that time Heinrich's pitch way outside, and the count goes to 2-2. I don't have the name of the coach because the numbers of the coach do not appear on the roster, but it was the assistant coach for Pendleton that got the toss, not the head coach being Lyle Phelps. And now they'll step off the mound with Heinrichs adjusting the ball just a little bit, rub it up. Boomer, 2 out with 2-2 count. Now the crowd will quiet down a little bit. Shaded slightly to left is everyone. Line to the delivery from Heinrichs. Outside, wanted to go for it, but a call and a ball and a 3-2. So the count is full. Heinrichs has been trying to get Berenboom to go out after that outside pitch. That's what he struck out on earlier in that far for Boomer, and he says, I'm not biting. Full count delivery with 2 and out. Down the middle, a fly ball to center field. And easy catch out there for Cape Jones. He'll make it to end the inning, and the drama continues as we go a little bit. McNary coming close to score. And the line and the delivery outside for a ball from Schaffner. Still not showing any problems, I don't believe. He looks to be healthy.
It's a good team.
Schaffner, the delivery, high, outside again.
You're one of the few juniors.
Chris Jensen, outstanding defensive back in football. Schaffner, right-hander, bounces it back at him. He'll have to come off the mound and make the play to first base on the dribbler, and he's out at first as Brian Berenboom makes the play over there. And Brian, one of the unusual members of this team in that he didn't go walk down the aisle and pick up a diploma this year. No, he's one of the juniors.
You're one of the few juniors on this ball club, and it makes you feel pretty good. I guess you have a chance to win a state title and maybe repeat next year, or you're just looking for the old one game at a time?
Well, you don't really know what's going to happen in 1 year. Yeah, hopefully the younger players could come up and do a real good job, and seniors could take some leadership and go out and do their best.
you guys have had some really good games, and in particular, I watched in the Bend game. You had some key hits at that. You're hitting real well right now. What's the deal?
Well, I'm finally starting to wait on that curveball. Give me some trouble this season, but I've been real fortunate. Runners have been on when I get up to bat, and luckily I get the hits when we need them.
Is that? And he's really getting the hits when they need him as well. He's doing what has to be done. He's calm and cool in the clutch situations, and against Bend in particular, he and Zinke were a couple of the heroes of that ball game and had 5-1 win. 3-0 the count now as they've worked it to Ryan Heinrichs with one away here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The pitcher, Heinrichs, who started out in left field, has come in, and he's their number one hurler. 7-0 at this juncture with a 1.02 ERA on the season and a called strikeout side. 3-1.
That was a close play there. I thought Shafter maybe had that ball a little bit too low, but the umpire says right at the knees, and it's 3-1. And look for another one right down the pipe at Heinrich.
Here comes Shafter with the 3-1 delivery. Zig lifts it to left field. It'll be fair foul just over there on the mound. And into the Henry sign is Paul Wecker. Trips over the mound out there.
And the bullpen out there is in a dangerous spot on that side. It's right there on the foul line practically, and Wecker tripped over those size 8.5s out there as he hit the dirt, but no harm, and it will be 3-2.
Well, we mentioned the Kaiser Little League, and I'll tell you, I see a lot of coaches out there that have beat me, and then I've had a chance to beat at basketball or baseball, sitting up there really rooting on the Celts. And again, that's what the key is to feeding this McNary program, is that outstanding baseball program they have out in Kaiser and all the volunteers that come along with it. And a high fastball, 5 pitches, 4 balls, and 2. First base goes Heinrichs on the walk with 1 away.
And again, trying to keep Shafter focused out here is going to be the key for McNary. He's been visited once in the last inning when Pendleton picked up a couple of runs. That time he worked his way back into the count after falling behind 3-0, got it to full. But that last pitch, obviously way too high, and Heinrich on with the leadoff walk.
He's their catcher. Schaffner from the delivery on the wind. It's low for a ball. Want to remind you that if you're looking for baseball equipment, to stop by the Salem Angel store in downtown Salem. They have a special sale going on through next Saturday. You don't want to miss it. And they say, go get him, McNary. Called strike, the next delivery, 1-1 from Schaffner to Kelly. And of course, Kelly on that semi-controversial play at home plate. Lots of time, and did he need to level Tony Gray coming in? He didn't. Schaffner with a quick pick over there to Berenboom, and he's back in safe as Heinrichs.
And now McNary just trying to play here a little bit too cautiously, perhaps, as Schaffner has been aiming here recently. That time he just pulled back and fired that baby right down the middle for a called strike, and he's at 1-2 ahead of the batter.
Kelly with one man on at first in a 5-run deficit fouls it back into the net. And the volunteer Little Leaguers from Tigard Little League, who have been here all day long chasing loose baseballs and hanging on to things, all decked out. Boy, we ran into a bunch of those young men. Swing and a miss in there, and he'll strike him down. Schaffner with that 1-2 count, and puts Kelly to the bench. Up. The first baseman lifts one to left center field. Wecker diving in on one knee and makes the catch. That'll end the inning. Paul Wecker with a dramatic play out there, but not before Pendleton gets there. Still facing the left-hander Heinrich. Still that light breeze out in right field, right to left. And the first pitch dribbles it past Samson short, out into left field, and a quick hitter. Powell about a third of the way off the dirt and comes back, and he'll be settling for a single. And now the bottom of the order, but not necessarily the bottom in the sense that you might consider not the strongest hitter on the starting lineup, and that is the DH, Buchanan. Last time up, Buchanan on the road, the game everybody will remember, 12-4 over North Medford. Second pitch in there for a ball, 2-0 to Buchanan. On deck, the top of the order is Paul Wecker. Great day for baseball in the city of Portland, and we heard the 3 outstanding plays called strike. Showing bunt was Buchanan and tried to pull back, but not in time. Earlier today, Douglas over St. Helens in a real slugfest. The 3A champions, Douglas, over the Lions of St. Helens 6-2. And it was Portland Christian not able to hold off the Prospectors at Grant Union in 8 innings. 6-5, Grant Union, the state 2A champion.
Buchanan took that third pitch. It was high as Heinrichs is really looking back Powell over at first, and that's throwing off his delivery. And boy, if you don't think this is nice weather, Mike Gallagher and I are both in shorts.
And blazer shirts.
That's right. And we don't usually do that in public, the shorts part.
That's why we're sitting behind the backstop here. 3-1 delivery. Inside, jam Buchanan. I think he got him on a strike. Throw down to second base. And he has to think about it. He's safe. Powell gets in. A great throw coming up firing was Kelly. A little high perhaps on the reception, but Jason Powell digging up a lot of dirt, and he's in safe at second with a stolen base.
Full count now, but putting Powell over to second, that's what Vic Backlund wanted to do. And again, that rather a slow wind out of the stretch for Heinrichs, that may have helped a little bit for Powell.
Turnaround throw. Powell got leaning that time. The throw was out into center field, but Powell down in the dirt and couldn't get Sams off of him quick enough to save it. Bad throw that time by Heinrichs, throwing behind the baseman. The playoffs this year, Gresham losing in the first round 9-3 to Pendleton. Gresham losing. Springfield was buried by the Bucks 15-1 in this game, the quarterfinal game. And of course, South Salem losing last Wednesday in the semifinals 6-0. And here are the Pendleton Bucks. To Buchanan, the full count, struck him out. Kelly leaning, and a foul tip. Kelly with the catch, and here comes Paul Wecker.
Now Buchanan did what he was supposed to do. He had to at least make the catcher blink a little bit when he came up with that baseball, and really it was fortunate that he did on that play as that ball was down low. But now here's Paul Wecker.
In basketball, we know Weck wasn't going to get a lot of playing time, and we both had the opportunity, at least maybe a little more than me than you, but when they'd get him in, when the McNary was up high and Gar would get him in the ball game, everybody got the ball to Wecker to see if he'd shoot that three-point jumper, and I saw him hit a couple of them and really sends the fans up into the air. And Paul Wecker, one of the nice young men. And, you know, we talk about the student athlete, and that's one of the things McNary epitomizes here as Wecker goes 3-1 with one out. Yeah, Paul Wecker going on a scholarship either to Pacific or Linfield with a 3.8 GPA, and he'll take another walk, his third of the day.
Yeah, McNary has a lot of student athletes out here. We don't have the old GPAs figured up, all sorts of other statistics, but it'd be a safe bet to say that there's a half dozen of them out here with a GPA of 3.5 or above.
And I think the other half are either in the low threes or the very, very high twos, because that's just the way it works at McNary. And they're one of the few schools we'll watch here as the Wecker goes down to first, and it'll be Powell over at second with the dirtiest uniform of the day. And the other left-hander is Crampton, who is 0 for 3 with 3 putouts. First pitch to Crampton, curveball called strike. 0-1. You used to see in the basketball program, one of the few schools that puts the asterisk. It shows them where on the GPA they are, between 3 and 3.3, or 3.3 to 3.5. Casey Flicker almost a perfect 4-point, about 3.8, and of course Ryan Sandu, the basketball player and track star, at 4.0. Next ball in there, a called strike on Crampton as he steps out of the box. 0-2 from Heinrichs now with 2 men on here, top of the 5th inning and 1 away. 5-run lead for the Celtics, and the sidearm comes across in there for a ball on the outside corner.
It's 1-2, and that was a dangerous pitch to take for Crampton on that play.
The center fielder was busy in that 3rd and 4th inning out there. Got a lot of stuff on it, struck him out. Crampton goes down with 2 away.
Good pitch, a lot of speed.
Middle infielders, and certainly he'll love to hit on that 1st or 2nd pitch, but the coach really likes the way he plays that middle infield. Gray from the stretch now. The left-hander Heinrichs fires the first one in for a strike.
Coach calls you one of the best defensive middle infielders he's had in some time, and you certainly have proven that you can play the middle quite well. Is there any particular key there? Just good eyes, good glove, or is it all luck?
It's probably all three. Mostly quickness and stuff, and practice on my own time and working with Casey. I've been with Casey all my life, and we know each other pretty well, so I don't know, just go out and do my job like he asked me to.
And he mentions he's been with Casey all his life, probably since back in that T-ball years and minor years. And I think that's the key to this success of this program, is that these guys have played together since they were 10, 11 years old. 1-1 now with 2 away to Tony Gray. Men at 1st and 2nd, and here comes the delivery from Heinrichs right in there for a called strike. 1-2.
Heinrich seems to be getting stronger as he goes along. He was really shaky at the start, that first wild pitch when he came in relief. But since then, he's gotten better and better. And that can be nothing but a positive for Pendleton, who
got him swinging that time, and that'll end the inning. And McNary not able to strike back, but they weren't able to come up with a hit. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, and 2 men left aboard here. 4.5 gone. It's still 7-2, McNary. Schaffner looking like he still has the stuff it takes to go on and win this ball game here as we go to the bottom. And that's the key right there, and he's kept it low most of the day, and that one's a curveball right at the chin bone coming in there for a ball. Goes 2-1 to Tony Hildy with no outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's really nice having to have the opportunity to talk to these young guys before the ball game, and we appreciate Coach Backlund allowing us to do that.
As he puts that strike right down the middle, actually kind of curved to the outside corner for a 2-2, and Schaffner, again, one of those pitchers with ice water in his veins out there. Very cool. That he stays cool.
The 2-2 pitch is ripped to right center field. It'll put Crampton to the wall. He'll go for 2. Hildy may go for 3 on this. Crampton still hasn't gotten it at the track. Now fires it in. Inside the park homer? I don't know. They're going to put the brakes on at 3rd base, and a stand-up triple for Tony Hildy.
Well, just as I talked about Schaffner keeping things in there and staying low, that pitch was right about belt high. Hildy jumped all over that baby and put it down into right center field. And again, shading him to left a little bit was Crampton.
And from left to pitch. No outs. Man at 3rd here. Pendleton's looking to score again. Low ball, pass ball. Here comes Hildy. He'll score standing up. It's 7-3, McNary. And a wild pitch, you might say. They'll call it a wild pitch because there was no way Holland was going to get to that ball. It hit in the dirt right about home plate, kicked straight up. Holland tried to get a glove on it, and Hildy just waltzed in unmolested for another Pendleton run. And the gap starts to narrow here as we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 7-3. Well, Vic Backlund's got himself some confidence. He's going to stay with the man that brung him. Eric Schaffner pitches 7 completes, at least 6 complete so far today. He's given up 6 hits and 3 runs. But the umpire out to talk with him, give him a new ball, and they'll kick the old one back over to the dugout there in front of the coach. And the chanting you hear to the right of most of those Salem Kaiser fans, or perhaps I should say in this case Kaiser and some Salem fans.
There you go.
That's better.
Get it right.
I will. I live there. I've got to keep it safe. Schaffner with his first pitch to the bottom man on the lineup, Ryan Robinson. And Robinson 0 for 2 today. He's the first sacker. Wears number 13 on his back. And then it'll be the top of the order, Tony Hildy and Mark Hamilton, the 1-2 punch for the Buckaroos. 7-3 the score here. 3 outs away from the state title. Outside, but a called strike for Eric Schaffner. 1989 was the last time, and of course in 88 they lost in the semis to the Steve Cook and the Tigers. Schaffner coming around with the 1-1, catches him stringing, strike 2.
I remember that 89 game. We're both here, different stations, but Tim Gower was the pitcher for McNary against, and Robinson goes down swinging.
Schaffner cuts him down here, 1 away, 2 outs away from the state title. Rub those radios, folks. We don't want any more of those North Medford heroics, but the last time Tony Hildy was up, he scored a couple of runs. He's gotten a double and a triple. He is 2 for 3, and he's also just very powerful when he gets up there and can make things happen. 7-3 the score, nobody on here, 1 away. Schaffner steps off the mound, wants to get his balance, checks the ball. Backlund tells Jeff Crampton to shade to right field. Wecker straight away and left, and playing deep in right field is Powell.
Yeah, they've moved Crampton straight away because he's been shading to left field, and he's gotten burned a couple of times out there by Hildy.
And Hildy goes after the first pitch served up by Schaffner. It'll be 0-1. Right down the pipe in there, and Hildy will step back in and dig in. Great baseball tradition in the Umatilla County area up in northeastern Oregon. Fouled away on 0-2 now to Hildy.
It's strength against strength up there, and Schaffner digging down deep. You know, he's got a little bit of reserve now, and he's going to give it all he's got because he knows he has Gunther behind him, and this is a man you don't want to give anything fat to hit.
0-2 to Hildy, the leadoff hitter. Schaffner, wide delivery inside for a ball, 1-2.
Nice pitch by Schaffner on that play. It was up where Hildy wants it, but came a little too far inside. He was hoping maybe he'd take a wild cut at it.
Still the light breeze blowing out in right field over to center field. Schaffner's delivery high and inside again. Pioneer Truck Equipment for all you truckers out there down on in Kaiser, that is. Talk to Pioneer Truck Equipment the next time you need anything large or small. Pioneer Truck in Kaiser. And a rip to right center field on his move over there as Crampton will get it on 3 bounces. Hildy's going for 2. No, he puts the brakes on quickly and scampers back to first. And a single for Hildy as he starts the 7th inning off.
Well, if he could get a home run in here somewhere, he'd hit for the cycle. But Hildy now with the high school version, if you will, of the cycle, as he's hit a single, a triple, and a double. And the adjustment by Vic Backlund is really what saved that from going for extra bases.
That would have been a double had he not moved Crampton over about 25 feet or so toward right field. Hildy comes off the bag a little bit, about a third of the way down, and scampers back as Holland will chase him back. And Holland certainly one of the more impressive catchers around here. I'm surprised he's not in that State Metro Series. There must be some awful good catchers someplace else. 1-0 to the number 2 batter, Mark Hamilton. And he'll fire it down inside, but low for a ball, 2-0. Hamilton 0 for 2 today, the left fielder with a sacrifice fly.
Things getting a little tense over here on the Kaiser side of the field. The crowd has gone a bit quiet, and Schaffner runs the count to 3-0 with a pitch high.
Up there around the numbers, it was inside. Had it even been across, I think it still would have been that ball. And Hamilton, very calm and cool, stepping back in with Hildy over on first. Down in there around the knees for a called strike. And just for a moment, Hamilton thought he was on his way to first base, but not was the case.
Well, that was on the inside corner for sure, and Schaffner gets the benefit of the doubt on that one.
3-1. Schaff down the pipe for a ball called strike 2. Schaffner cut the corner, and that's going to rattle Hamilton just a little bit. That was close, but it was there on near the black.
Same spot, same exact spot, and Holland has been giving that target right there, and the umpire has bought it. It is a strike.
No breeze in the outfield now, nothing swirling. Full count with one away here. Man on first, the pitch outside for a ball. And he'll send and put him on first and second. Now Hildy is a threat to steal for second. And we're back for the first pitch to Cave Jones here after the quick talk over there with Eric Schaffner, and he'll throw him a ball low and away. Just a brief message from Backlund. It says, keep it down low, keep it in the strike zone. You've got men on, you've got great defenders here. The 1-0 is fouled off, and now it's a 1-1 count.
Looking a little tentative. Schaffner looks like he's sort of aiming the baseball out there. That's got to be a little bit of a concern to Vic Backlund, but he's got Gunther down, out of the bullpen, and he may be warm enough to just come on.
1-1 from Schaffner. Cave goes after it. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Want to remind you, Saturday Night Alive with Ron Hutchcraft coming up immediately following this ball game on the CBN Satellite Music Network. I believe that's what they call it. If it's not, I'm wrong, and I don't mind it. Cave Jones with a man on first and second here, trailing it 7-3. It's been that way since the 5th inning. Defenders are back in position. Cave reaches out for a little Gruber. Boomer looking for second, and he hits the runner in the back. The run will score. Here comes Flick, holds it up, and the run's going to score anyway. Hildy's in to make it 7-4. Flicker made the throw home as a fake. Boomer made a quick throw over to second base, hit the runner in the back. Flicker chased down the loose ball, faked the throw home, hoping to draw the runner off second. Did not, but with one out here, another run is scored and an error to the first baseman.
Yeah, Berenboom made the throw. It would have been a good throw, except that the runner was in the way. Flicker couldn't do anything about it. And we have one out, and Pendleton still threatening.
Here's Jesse Enright, the second baseman. Jesse steps in as the cleanup hitter. 2 for 3 today with a couple of doubles. First pitch still to come from Schaffner. You check Jason, no. Double checking the numbers here. Looks like a wrap on the next pitch. Over to Boomer. Make the run to first base, and it's 2 away. A nice wrap in there that time by Jesse Enright. Cave Jones will stay on over there at first base. Hamilton at second. Oh man, that'll move the runners around actually. Second to third by mistake. But 2 out here and 1 out the way from Mr. Garten, who's 0 for 3 today, looking to see if he can be the hero. A homer would tie it. The tying run at the plate right now, 7-4. Garten facing that gun, lifts it to right field. It's going to be deep, and this could do it. It does. The McNary Celtics are the 4A state champions of baseball. They have defeated the Pendleton Buckaroos 7-4 on this D-Day 1992.
A great ball game. Jason Powell, maybe the most valuable player in this one, hitting, makes the final out appropriately enough. And the Celtics claim their second title in 4 years as Eric Schaffner goes the distance
And Vic Backlund has yet another trophy to put in the old case there in Kaiser. Very, very modest. He lets his players take the time. The crowd comes down, I'd say 30 or 40 young men and coming down there, and the players hugging each other. There's a little crying going on, and the Buckaroos, just dejected, come to home plate to await the victors for the high fives. And while the cheering goes on, let's pause here for a 2-minute timeout, a 2-minute break. The champions of 1992, the McNary Celtics, have beaten Pendleton 7-4. 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Pendleton. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Well, you folks on tape, we're just excited as heck here with the 2 seconds back. 5 back mark.
All right, we're ready to go. Go Celtics.
We'll keep it tight here. The cheering you hear here after this break, the two teams have lined up the Pendleton Buckaroos down on the third base side, and on the first base line, the Victoria State champion McNary Celtics. We've had a chance in the last 4 years to see these guys win it twice, and it certainly is an honor for a great coach and fitting for the city of Salem, who had 3 outstanding baseball teams. And when you consider, well, 3 outstanding Valley League baseball teams, when you consider not only Sprague and South, but the McNary Celtics, and they were all in the top 10 at one time or another this season. The Salem Academy Crusaders, also an outstanding representative, and of course our friends Crossway in Polk County and Dallas, a great baseball team. But today's day goes to the McNary Celtics, and they're a happy young bunch. Everyone from Kaiser on their feet here. Some of the scoring, you can run it down for us, baby.
Now, the ball game was really one that belonged to McNary early, and then they just sort of coasted in. That's really all there was to it. In the first inning, neither team did anything other than go down in order, but in the second, McNary Celtics sent 9 men to the plate, came up with 4 runs off of a grand total of 2 hits with a couple of base on balls sprinkled in, and they led it 4-0 early. They then followed after Pendleton failed to score with another outburst. 8 men come to the plate in the third. They come up with 3 runs in that one with 2 hits as well and a couple of base on balls, and they led it 7-0. From there on, it was all Pendleton as far as the offense goes, as Pendleton came up with 2 runs themselves in the bottom half of the inning off a couple of hits. And after a scoreless 4th inning, a run in the 5th inning by Tony Hildy following his leadoff triple. And in the 7th, Hildy scored again after getting a single, made things a little dramatic to end the ball game. But the pop fly that went to Jason Powell ended it all, and the McNary Celtics claim their second title in 4 years, defeating Pendleton 7-4. The line score, in case you care, McNary 7 runs, 9 hits with 1 error. Pendleton 4 runs on 7 hits with 2 errors in the course of this ball game.
And the state championship remains in the mid-Willamette Valley, not in the capital city, in the city of Kaiser, but nonetheless it stays in the Valley League, and everyone in the area has got to be happy about that.
Yeah, and you know the Valley League has been looked upon as being the best league. We mentioned this in the state of Oregon, and I think that evidence of that is South Salem making it to the semifinal game. The Sprague Olympians, who were in the top 10 all year, didn't even get a chance to play at state. A disappointment there for Bill Baumgartner's Olympians. But really, you know, this is such a great baseball league, the Valley League, and the Salem-Kaiser area in particular has such a strong tradition in baseball that...
And we return to Portland Civic Stadium live along with the new head coach of the state 4A champion McNary Celtics, Vic Backlund. It's a couple, 3 years ago. You were just as excited as this one, any more or less better than the last one?
Well, Mike, I don't think I could compare the two. I think both of them are just a tremendous feeling, each in itself. Again, I love the kids in '89. I love these kids in '92. I just can't be happier.
They really were worked hard out there. They had to really face some defensive adversity. I don't think many baseball fans wonder. They had a lot of guys on base out there with some miscues, and Eric was getting a little bit tired out there, and he still sucked it up and was able to hold on.
Yeah, Eric was not his usual self today. He had the ball up almost the entire game. Early in the game, he could get away with his ball up, but as he tired a little bit and kind of wore down, they kind of got their bats on the ball, and so he really had to battle. He did. I'm really proud of him because it would have been easy to ask for help, but he didn't want to come out, and he did the job.
Your team played very aggressively, just like you've done all year, running the base paths. You got thrown out a couple of times, but it also came up with some good things out there, and you made the most of what Pendleton gave you during the course of the ball game.
Yeah, Mark, we decided coming in, we played 29 ball games, and one of the reasons we got here was because we were aggressive. We wanted to be aggressive at the bat. We wanted to be aggressive on the bases. We decided we're not going to get conservative. We're not going to get cautious. We're going to play the game, the kind of game that got us here.
What about Pendleton? Boy, those guys are scrappy.
Heck of a ball club. The whole key was the big inning early, and their starting pitcher had trouble. He was wild, and they could never quite make up that deficit. And other than that, they swung the bats awfully well, and they're real competitive, hard-nosed kids.
Thanks for representing Salem so well in baseball, especially the city of Kaiser as well. You guys are really a tribute to the area when it comes to baseball.
Well, thank you, and we certainly thank the Kaiser community and the kids from the school. There's a lot of good following out here today, and our players know it, and they responded and to that extra help.
Well, that'll do it. We want to talk with Jason. Again, congratulations, Vic Backlund.
Thank you very much.
The head coach of the state title. And I'll tell you, here's a guy we missed. We had all those interviews played, but we missed a couple of guys, and one of them was Jason Powell, the right fielder. We talked about your right fielding, the defensive ability. Vic told us yesterday that, there's anybody he wants out in right field squinting into that afternoon sun and watering eyes. He wants you out there playing defense. But I'll tell you, you had one whale of a day. You saved it till the end of the season, it looks like. Somebody would say, gosh, he only bats about 236 with a 23 ribbies, but goodness gracious, you scored a couple runs and did a great job today.
Yeah, I haven't been hitting very well. Well, I've been hitting the ball hard right at people. My last game I was over 3 with 3 strikeouts. I wasn't too happy about that.
Sure.
I didn't sleep well, but I just came out relaxed, nothing to lose. My last high school game, I wanted to go out good, and I saw the ball real well today.
Now how are you going to sleep?
Yeah, I'll sleep fine.
You were 3 for 3 or 3 for 4 and got on an error, and it seemed, like you said, it looked like you were seeing the ball very well, and instead of hitting them right at people, you caught a gap or two a couple of times here.
Yeah, they fell for me today. I've hit a couple right at people. I'd rather hit them at people in the season than save this, get an interview. But we got a team full of great hitters. I was just the one who got one extra tonight.
What about Pendleton? They seemed extremely, they were rough and tough out there. I saw Tony Gray take a lick here at home plate, and it was rough going out there.
Oh yeah, they're a competitive team. When you get here, you're playing a competitive team. Both teams want to win it bad. They got down early, and they had to scrap for everything they got to come back into it.
Jason, when you got to that 7th inning and Schaffner stayed in and then they scored the run and there were some people out there, what went through your mind as that last ball came out your way to right field?
Nothing at all. Catch it, win state championship. As a team, we've been through a lot of close games. We've come back and won one-run games all through our lives. It seems like, starting with Little League, we've been in the crunch, and I think that's our advantage over other teams. And when it was hit, I wanted to catch it. I got it.
Jason, tell me just one little thing. Talk about Little League. I've heard you guys say this over and over again. We've been together for so long. We're like a family. We've been around since 10, 12 years of age. Kaiser Little League really does prepare you for this. I mean, there's just a lot of, you guys have been together for quite a while.
Yeah, that's totally correct. That's 100% correct. We've got Zinke's transfer, and besides that, I think we've all been on an all-star team together forever. It's like a big family. You come out, you know who's on the team. We're close. We all hang out together, and it helps us.
Let's go. Congratulations to the family. Let's talk to this guy here that was
Thanks
pitching.
a lot.
Jason
Thanks for
Powell. You bet.
Thank you, Jason Powell.
And Eric Schaffner today giving up a few hits, 7 of them. And I'll tell you, about 5th inning, you look pretty tuckered out there, young man.
I did. About then I started getting tired, but I don't know. Just
I think I might relax a little bit because we got all those runs early on, but you know, since they started scoring with you, it's just had to tighten it up a little bit, and I think, you know, we got it done.
Yeah, even though maybe things were a little high, we noticed the pitches were a little high in the strike zone. You look calm. I mean, it's hard to tell. You're a man with a very little pulse to begin with, but it looked like it was they settled you down a couple of times, and you reared back and found something inside yourself to really settle down.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I don't know.
When you talk to Gilman, he usually does all the talking. Oh, I agree with him. But what I was going to ask you in particular, were there any points in the game when you looked at it and they had come back for a couple of runs? They didn't load the bases. They got a couple of runners on a couple of times. You had to get out of your rhythm. You had a rhythm going really well, and you had to get out of it. How difficult was that?
Oh, you know, anytime you're going along and they get some hits, you got to just buckle down and just get the job done. There's no excuses for yourself. You just got to do it.
Well, what'd you tell the coach as he tried to make the decision there at the bottom of the 7th inning?
I wanted to stay in. There's no way I wanted to come out. I wanted to finish it off. That's all I wanted.
Well, I'll tell you, congratulations. Good luck in the State Metro Series with Casey. It's been a pleasure to watch you play, and you've really meant a lot to McNary Sports. Thanks. All right, Eric Schaffner, the winning pitcher today, giving up 4 runs and 7 hits, a couple of errors for the Pendleton Bucks, and I think we've seen ourselves one of the better state playoff games in a long time.
Yeah, it was great from start to finish. Great weather. You know, it was short sleeves and shorts weather out here, and a fine ball game by both teams. And Pendleton could have rolled over and died after they got down 7-0. They didn't. But McNary showed what they were made of, and they didn't let the rally affect them, and they come up with the 7-4 win.
And, of course, the big win for McNary, of course, Jason Powell, we mentioned earlier, at bat 4 times, and he's scores a couple of runs, goes 3 for 4, and bats in a run as well. Another great hitting performance, Kevin Holland, who was 2 for 4 today with scoring a run. 1 for 3, Tony Gray today, and 1 for 3 was Scott Buchanan, and 2 for 3, Zach Zinke with a couple of runs scored. Zach's been tremendous throughout the playoffs. And you look at Schaffner, pitches a full 7 innings, giving up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 3 bases on balls. And, of course, we have to go back to Pendleton with an inning in the 3rd. Had to be chased from the mound because he was walking him and had no control. He had 2 hits off of him in just an inning in the 3rd and had 4 runs scored against him and had 3 bases on ball. Ryan Heinrichs, the lefty for Pendleton, 5 2/3 innings, had give up 7 hits, 7 strikeouts, 4 bases on balls, 1 earned run, and allowed 3 runs and 7 hits. But we saw a good lefty in Heinrichs.
Heinrichs came on strong towards the end of the ball game, and if Pendleton could have gotten a little more offense at the end, but credit McNary's defense for that, they might have been able to pull this one back out. But you could tell why Heinrichs was their #1 pitcher during the course of the year.
McNary 4 runs in the 2nd, 3 runs in the 3rd, and that was enough. Pendleton picked up 2 runs in the 3rd and then 1 run each in the 5th and 7th inning and made a game of it in the final frames. But certainly today is the day for the McNary Celtics. They are the state champions of 4A boys baseball. Other scores today, in case you missed it, 3A champions.
Scott, took you a long time to get in the starting lineup, didn't it?
That is right.
And you deserve it because you stayed with it.
Yes. We're moving on.
You bet.
We're going to Cheetos tomorrow night.